Are you ruling out a ground campaign in a limited capacity?
I don't want to say that either, but I would say no if I thought it was appropriate. I'd say sometimes you need a ground campaign, but we have other people that will do the ground campaign for us.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. That's the true power of heaven and earth, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and continually teach us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's laboring in this word and truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this could be an edifying video. This is going to be a real quick video. All right, came across this yesterday, and the first thought I had when I seen this is this nigga talks too much. Okay, which he's right about when he said others would do the ground war for us. You know, they've been trying to use the Kurds to, I guess, pretty much pave the way for them to come in. But Iran been taking it to them, you know. And from these recent attacks, it's looking like a ground war is right around the corner. And remember, in Russia, it's in what's it called? Chechnya, I believe. You know, the Chechnyan soldiers, which, you know, Chechnya is actually pretty much like its own little, how could I say? I guess like its own little like province or country within Russia, which Putin keeps the leader of Chechnya in power. I forget his name, but pretty much it came out like maybe like 5 months ago or more, probably more than that, where they were saying that if there's a ground war into Iran, that they had like 100,000 soldiers ready, something like that. And I remember speaking with Chat about that, and Chat said the world would view that as Russia getting directly involved in this war in Iran. So, you know, what you see right here, Trump is saying he's not ruling out a ground war. All right, there's reports that they're talking about they got 50,000 U.S. soldiers that's pretty much on standby, man. And, you know, these recent attacks that they've been doing on Iran, you know, they've been doing a lot of coastal attacks. Okay, taking out radars, taking out, they're using drones to take out Navy ships. You know, now it's a Navy battle between the U.S. and Iran for the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, I forget the exact number. It's like 20 ships or something like that. Maybe like 20, I want to say warships. I forget. I should have went back over the articles. You know, it's so much that comes out. You know, you tend to forget things. But pretty much, you know, Trump said his naval blockade is in full effect. And, you know, this time, you know, I seen articles where they're talking about pretty much they're cutting everybody from going, you know, through the strait. So this is a direct war, you know, with not just Iran, but, you know, anyone that's trying to go through those waters. So, you know, I'm pretty sure China is about to turn up. I'm pretty sure Russia is about to turn up. Okay. So, you know, the reason why this devil is doing this, because you have a lot of analysts saying like Larry Johnson, he's always going into the U.S. doesn't have the rare earth minerals that it takes to make PAC-3s and other, you know, advanced missiles. They don't have the rare earth minerals to make these weapons, and their stockpile is extremely low. Okay. And all these different analysts are saying that the United States will lose this war with Iran. Okay. Which technically they've already won against America and Israel. What's happening right now is pretty much a sore loser. You know, pretty much Babylon is a sore loser. they don't want to take an L because of their pride. And because of their pride, they actually think that they're going to win. They think that things are going to go their way, but everything you're doing is leading you right into the hands of Yahweh Bahashim and Hawashai. Okay? So as you see, he said the next wave could be wider in scope than current strikes. He was saying that if Iran don't make a deal, that they're going to attack their infrastructure. Pretty much they're going to attack their power grid. They're going to attack different bridges. And they're about to do longer attacks deep inside Iran. Okay? So it's going down, man. All right, this nigga Esau is at the end of his world. We're watching this nigga crash out for real. Okay? Because they can't take an L. They are in a sore loser spirit. Where we're in the time of you Edomites losing, man. But I want to start off here in Obadiah. This is Obadiah start of verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And, we know this is talking about Esau, Edom, but in today's time, this is mainly talking about the Edomites in what they would say the West. Okay? So, and mainly you Edomites in America. All right, you're the ones that you're greatly despised, man. Over there in Iran, they burn the flag, they chant death to America. They had, pictures of different politicians with a target on their head. They had Trump, like some kind of like puppet of Trump, where they had it hanged. So it's mainly you Edomites over here in America that you are greatly despised, man. The whole entire world, all right, is beginning to hate you. They hate you because of your support for the tiny tops. It says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Right, and that's why they're doing this. They're further escalating this war in Iran because of their pride. All right, their pride will not allow them to accept that they've lost. And then on top of that, we do understand that the elites do have an agenda. All right, I just seen that Japan is now saying that cryptocurrency is, I forget the word they use, but just to, I guess, sum it up, pretty much they're saying it's legal tender now. Okay? We're seeing that Iran is saying that they will accept toll payments in the Strait of Hormuz in Bitcoin. All right, so crypto, which we know everything is going to lead up to a digital blockchain system that will be governed. Okay, it won't be like crypto how it is now, how you can buy it and there's ways to where they can't track it and you can be anonymous. You can be a Bitcoin holder and the government won't know. No, they're about to do away with that. All right, it's all going to be governed. They want to know who has what and how much do they have. Okay? That's why, this blockchain system is going to be fully, pushed. But anyway, we know this is talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, because it says, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. We know these Edomites dwelt in Mount Seir, and then they also dwelt in the Caucasus Mountains. That's why they call themselves Caucasian, which means cave dweller. Okay? So, whose habitation is high, this nigga, he's on the power seat. Okay? It's no denying that the so-called white man is in his heaven. Okay? It says that self in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's really how these devils think. They really believe that they're never going to fall from power. All right? Even though they have, worthy opponents, because it ain't just going to be you and the tiny tops just teaming up on Iran. All right. And you're not going to get rid of the Ayatollah. Okay. You're not going to make it to where no one has control of Iran, because eventually Russia and China will fully get involved militarily. Okay. And not just them. All right. North Korea will get involved. Okay. It's going to be a world war. All right. This brother put a beautiful compilation of different videos together, and he put it on a video. You got a lot of Edomites that's afraid, man, saying what we're seeing right now, and they're afraid it's going to spiral into a world war. Well, yes, it is. And we're already in it. Okay. And if you can understand military language, we're definitely already in World War III, the War of Armageddon. Okay. It's a reason why Babylon is doing what they're doing, because they're not only fighting Iran, they're also fighting Russia and China, and they've been known this. That's why Hegseth said during the the last time before the MOU, I'll say, when they were going at it, Hegseth was like, yeah, we see what Russia and China is doing, and all of these analysts are saying Iran couldn't do the attacks that they're doing if it wasn't for Russian intelligence and Chinese real-time satellite targeting. So they've already been involved, but it's about to take another turn. Okay? So this nigga, he really thinks who was going to bring him down to the ground. Let me grab this in Psalms. All right? This is Psalms chapter 49 verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. So Esau really thinks that he's going to rule forever. They think that they're never going to fall, man. Okay? And they do call their lands after their own names. Like America. Okay, what is it? Amerigo Vespucci, something like that. Okay? Even Africa. They named that out there in Edomite, But these Edomites, they really think that they really believe that they're going to rule forever. Okay? But that's not so. Your pride has deceived you. All right? You're in. All right, let me check this real quick. And like I said, I can't make this video too long. I do gotta get back to what I'm doing on the job. All right. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So though you put yourself on a high, pedigree, so to say, you feel like no one can take you down. You feel like if there is a God, he looks just like you. He's all for what you're doing. No, the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is the one that's going to bring you down. All right, we're not saying we're going to do anything. All right, the Lord our power is the one that's doing it, and yes, he's going to use us to speak on it, and then eventually he's going to use us to judge you in the kingdom. Okay, so it says I'm gonna jump to verse 7. All the men of, I start at verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Right, because he tried to hide who he is. He's a fugitive. He tried to hide his identity. All right, he called himself white. Anything but an Edomite. They never make a movie on the Edomites, man. They'll make a movie on Moses. They'll make a movie on Samson. They'll make a movie on the Lord. All right, they'll make a movie on, different stories in the scriptures, but they'll never make one on the Edomites. All right, but your hidden things has been sought out. All right, we know about your secret organizations, the Illuminati. We know about all these different things. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Right, because your allies are turning on you. And Trump even admitted that Erdogan, the president of Turkey, he was at the point where he was about to join the war, you know, against them tiny tots. He pretty much was going to be on the Iranian side. But what is Trump doing? Trump went out there for the NATO summit. He promised Erdogan F-35s. You know, he's pretty much trying to you know, what's the word I could use? He's pretty much trying to sweet talk him, so to say. But we already know, according to prophecy, that they're going to side with Iran and Russia will be a guard unto them, as well as a guard unto Persia, which is Iran. All right? So we're at the point now where your allies, they're pretty much smiling in your face, but behind your back, they're like, man, we got to get away from these people. And there's no understanding in you. You know, you truly think that you can still move around as you always have. All right, that these nations are still going to bow to you. All right, no, man, it's looking more favorable to them to join Russia and China. Okay, because the dollar is on its way out. All right, this the whole world can see this place is done. All right, the only ones that can't see it are you dumbass Babylonians. Okay, so you know we're about to see, Lord willing, very soon. We're about to see a ground invasion, man. Okay, and this will really be the end of you. All right, you go through it. This will really be your end. Because once you do it, there's no getting out of it, man. You can't lie your way out of it. You can't just say, "Oh, Iran made a deal, and you know we're gonna call our troops back." No, once you take it to that level, there's no turning back. Okay, and that's why they signed already. All right, it goes into effect December, but hey, we've been saying through the Spirit they're gonna put it into effect before then. All right, Lord willing, where if you're between the ages 18 and 25, you're automatically going to be pretty much drafted. Okay, a major draft is coming, man. All right, and we'll prove that real quick. Okay, and that'll be this video. Like I said, a quick video. Okay, this is Joel chapter 2 verse 20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army. This is talking about the American military. All right, there will be a draft, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate. It's talking about over there in Saudi Arabia. Okay, the Persian Gulf. That whole region is where this third war is going to take place. All right, and there's nothing but desert. You know, in parts of Saudi Arabia. That's why it says barren and desolate. There's nothing there. And that's where, you know, soldiers, you know, something's going to happen to where these different militaries are going to send their soldiers to that region. Okay? It says, with his face toward the east sea and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. Okay, so your back's going to be to the Red Sea, and the East Sea is referring to the Euphrates River. Okay, so it says, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. There's going to be a lot of dead bodies. All right, there's going to be a lot of casualties in this war, man. Okay, they've been hiding the casualties so far from Iran hitting these different military bases, but once this ground war happen, hey, you ain't gonna be able to hide it. Okay, so you know I could grab some more precepts, keep going, but like I said, I gotta get in the field. So, but at the end of there, you know, we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna stay on our watch. All right, listen to what these different analysts say. Okay, but Lord willing, this was an edifying video. With that, I'm going to say shalom.